poster uh, also leads to disadvantage. For example, when ideal and real physical arrangement presented by Gus Muhaimin, uh, this will make the electorate fail to connect the text and the image, because the text Padamu Negeri Kami Berbakti for the homeland we serve as an idealist condition cannot be validated by the real. The image as the real does not depict as shown by the real does not depict the proposition. And Muhaimin also not portrayed as a selfless servant dedicating his love and loyalty to the homeland through his specific action. So here, his image is clueless to explain or to clarify the proposition. And then Airlangga, similar to other previous politicians, some interplay of their elements also give disadvantages to the electorate. For example, when the selection of positive negative connotation combine, this will create difficulties for the electorate to evoke their trust. And then the employment of abstract happening material process make the electorate quite hard to imagine what kind of specific services or activities will be realized by Airlangga. And then his closed mind obstruct the electorate from accepting that he is confident, open, and approachable. And then his closed mind obstruct the electorate from accepting that he is, as I said before, approachable cheerfulness, but actually it reflects his anxiety and hesitation. And next for Prabowo, the interplay of some elements also gives some disadvantage for the electorate. For instance, the selection of abstract diction ikhlas in Prabowo's claim hinders the fluency of mental image presentation in the electorate mind. They cannot objectively evaluate whether or not he is sincere because they do not experience his sincerity. Only visual representation of Prabowo when interacting with people contribute to a shared concept. And then the negative connotation contained in the diction ikhlas is detrimental to Prabowo, and because this diction is negatively associated with surrender to accept the defeat. This makes the electorate evaluate Prabowo as a shameless politician. And the last one for Anies, the interplay of some linguistic and visual, also spatial aspect shows Anies' unpreparedness. For example, there is no ideological reason behind the selection of red and black, and then his image put in the given doesn't provide relevant background information to the proposition in his digital poster. And then not all electorates are interested in this strategy because this may decrease electorate empathy, where we can see that Anies employ appeal and attack political strategy. And the last one, the conclusion of my study, linguistically, visually, and spatially, those politicians employ different strategies. And the last one, the implication of my finding is, theoretically, this finding will discover the linguistic and social semiotic are not autonomous, they are interrelated and have direct relation to other field of study. In this case, is political discourse analysis. And then this finding of study redefine the existing theories claiming that persuasive discourse covering textual and visual component can give attractive impression to the electorate, and excellent sources of political information and spatial arrangement can impact the comprehension of the electorate. Indeed, in a political setting, linguistic, visual, and spatial components are interrelated to convey a holistic message to the electorate. They need to be well considered to facilitate the fluency of the dissemination of political messages. No matter how attractive and excellent each component is, when they are not interwoven with one another, the fluency will be failed. And then the finding of this study add up new horizon to other theories that the interplay of linguistic, visual, and spatial semiotic resources is powerful to convey political message and unmasking hidden values and ideology of the politician. Practically, for the electorate, the finding of this study are the basis for making a careful decision before voting for a certain politician in the 2024 presidential election, and the finding of this study can be used as consideration for them to vote for the right candidate for the upcoming uh, presidential election. And then this finding of the study can make the electorate more aware of evaluating politicians' self-concept. Therefore, they can avoid being manipulated. And for politicians, the finding of this study can enrich their insight and broaden their horizon in terms of how to employ linguistic, visual, and spatial mode in their digital poster. For political parties, practically, the finding of this study can be used as a reference to make attractive, meaningful, impactful, and powerful digital poster. And then for other researchers, the finding of this study can be a guidance in terms of how to elucidate this mode to unmask politician ideology. I think that's all I can share today. Thank you, Prof.
Right. Can you please take out your display?
Yes.
Well, as a request from Professor Sriminda, well, Prof. Minda, are you now ready? Not yet. Okay. So we start from Professor Dr. E. Wayan Dirgayasa. Professor Wayan, would you please take your time there? Professor Wayan?
Ya, Prof. Harusnya Ibu Minda ya, Prof?
Ya.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Amrin. And Mutia.
Yes, Prof.
You okay?
Yes, Prof.
Thanks. The first impressions when I read your dissertation reports, it's hectic and confusing and complicated.
Yes, Prof.
So now I think I have some question before I recommend and suggest point things that you have to do in order to improve your dissertation better. Okay, now let's see the first thing. So when I check again, your issue is what actually? When I read your research dissertation title. So, what is the key point in your research dissertation?
Multimodal discourse analysis of digital poster presented by politician, Prof.
Okay. So how will you view the multimodal analysis?
By investigating the interplay of each mode.
Instrumen yang you gunakan, a kind of theory that you would like to see political poster.
Teori multimodalnya, Prof.
Yes.
CRES, Prof.
So if you would like to see a political digital poster, let's say simplified poster, let's say.
Yes, Prof.
And then you would like to see the theory, using theory of CRES. And then if you are dealing or discussing regarding to not political poster, and then you have another assumption.
Yes, Prof.
So let's say the political language is different from, let's say, advertisement language, or let's say the descriptive language.
Yes, Prof.
Do you think so?
Yes, Prof. In political language, some politicians use persuasive strategy.
So you are discussing about the language of politics? Yeah, itu yang jadi penting kan?
Yes.
You are discussing political language in your dissertation?
Yes, Prof.
No, in some sub-theory or two or three point of theory regarding to political language or political language and power and blah blah.
Yes, Prof.
You are discussing in your dissertation. Can
yes,
you show? Can you show me?
By
What thing?
combining, yes, Prof. By combining the interplay of linguistic, visual,
No,
and
no.
visual.
Theoretical concept of what language of politics is, how language of politics is delivered, and how it is structured, and blah blah.
Yes, not very specific, Prof.
Nah, it should be.
Yeah.
Karena bahasa politik is different from bahasa kelas, ya kan? It's different from bahasa literary. Ya, kalau literary itu kan yang penting cantik. Key point-nya kan ada the language of politics, itu banyak bukunya. Karena you membahas bahasa politik.
Yes, Prof.
Itu jadi you miss. Karena gini, poster yang you see from political beda dengan poster yang you see from literary works. Kan beda kan? Jadi kalau let's say poster film, it is not politik. Pasti beda kan? Menyajikannya beda, bahasa yang digunakan beda. So pisau yang utama adalah the language of politics. Karena you see the poster of politics. Jadi pisaunya juga political language. Itu yang saya juga lupa dulu mengingatkan.
Iya, Prof.
Bagi saya itu yang penting. Karena di sana ada kata-kata yang sangat unik in political discourse. Ya kan?
Yes, Prof.
Nah, itu terlupakan. Saya terlupakan itu kemarin. Baru saya ingat. Padahal itu yang menjadi key point. Ya. Next. If you would like to see that this is the way how you see the poster, digital is just a media. Kan gitu kan. Kalau you gunakan digital poster, berarti ada opposition of digital poster.
Yes, Prof.
So how you say another term or the opposition of digital?
Printed poster.
Printed poster. Berarti kan you have to know the theory of printed poster and digital poster.
Yes, Prof.
You discussed that one?
Yes, Prof. In review of literature, I have discussed the difference between printed and digital poster, their weaknesses, their focus.
Nah, itu yang perlu you lihat juga ya.
Yeah,
Ya, dan juga the scope of the audience. Ya, saya belum kelihatan juga dengan detail karena kalau you membahas suatu isu pasti ada lawan. Nah, lawannya itu you have to discuss. How the two are similar, how the two are different. Itu dia.
Yes,
You have to keep in mind kalau you mau menggunakan digital berarti ada lawannya non digital. Apakah non digital lawannya printed? Ya kan?
Yeah.
Apakah juga lawannya online? Itu misalnya. Itu maksudnya kata-kata itu yang you have cukup sehingga the readers will get a knowledge that you focus on digital, not online terminology. Apakah digital and online itu similar? Or how you define digital karena di digital menggunakan words kata digital. Kenapa tidak online misalnya? Lawannya kalau printing. Kalau media kan printing media sama electronic media misalnya. Kalau ini
digital and printed.
itu yang menarik. Jadi terms itu yang complicated so that you have to clear cut the concept of the word the digital process is about what the printing ataukah what the electronic ataukah what the online.
Yes, Prof.
Apakah sama dengan sosial media atau online media? Apakah online media kategori atau lawan atau varian dari media of electronic and printing? Itu yang harus you clear cut so that the readers are not confused and you juga tidak confused.
Okay, Prof.
Wait for a minute. Okay, next. When I checked your report again, I got very confused with your way of thought in discussing and in following up your research problem. Yeah. So when I checked that conceptual frameworks, I think this is very complicated and complex. As I know, conceptual framework is how to view phenomena and what instrument you use. But when I check your conceptual framework, still it's very complicated. Too many things. So if you can list the main issue of your research problem, of your research item, like multimodal sample election, so we have to draw what the possible variables. that you would like to have in your research problem, in your research title. And then you try to see the issue. The issue is political poster kan, digital
Yes.
poster kan,
Yeah.
you from multimodal kan gitu kan, you from press and blah blah. That's it. I think when I check halaman 128 ya.
128.
Ya, 128 ya.
Yes.
Ya kan?
Iya.
Nah, ini yang mana? Tidak ada findingnya. Dia belum kelihatan finding gitu ya. How you come into that one? So yang menjadi poin apa? Kan digital poster itu yang you teropong ya, yang you view.
Iya,
So it is the point. If you start with multimodal on the top and then there is arrow down, mode of digital distance, it is description of your research. It is not way of thought of the researcher seeing, viewing the issue. Coba you lihat lagi.
Iya.
Contoh-contoh conceptual framework dalam bentuk flowchart. Kalau itu diflowchartkan, nah, kalau tidak diflowchartkan, deskripsinya nggak apa-apa. Ya, apakah yang menjadi isu utama itu di atas? Apakah isu utama yang dicari? Gitu ya. Jadi isu utamanya yang mana? Judul ini isu utama. Kalau ambil start from one or two words, isu utamanya political poster, kan itu kan?
Iya,
Dilihat dari multimodal, kan gitu kan? Kan gitu harusnya.
Iya, Prof.
Nah, bukan finding. Ya, as I know, membaca banyak buku tidak ada turunannya terakhir finding itu tidak ada. Karena ini masih konseptual. Jadi isu itu dilihat dari mana? How you see, what instrument you use. The same issue, the same issue using different instrument, the result would be different. Kan itu teorinya kan?
Iya, Prof.
Ya, jika you menulis political poster dari konsep multimodal, jika ada one see political poster from non multimodal, or you use Kress and siapa tadi?
Van Leeuwen,
and then other use other theory, the result could probably different. So your focus is political poster from multimodal by using theory ABCD. For me, again for me nih, ya, nggak tahu yang lain, ya, it still need revise how you draw the narration in the previous, and then you make a simple flow in order to make it simple and easy to understand. Ya, coba you lihat lagi contoh-contoh pola susunan conceptual framework kalau difigurkan ya. Saya tidak pernah menemukan seperti ini bentuknya terakhir finding. Ya, dia belum sampai finding gitu. Dia hanya masih namanya konsep, dari mana bisa finding? Ya kan?
Iya, Prof.
Katanya kan conceptual framework, how you come into finding? Konsep itu kan isu dilihat dari mana dan bagaimana you are viewing, you are investigating the issue, instrument and how. Hanya itu dia. Tapi inilah probability media before you jump into answer of your research problem. Ini kan sejenis bridging. Sejenis bridging sebelum you akan menentukan possibility of the answer of this question. Jadi gini, jika you see political poster from multimodal, the result could be bla bla bla. Kan gitu kan? Kan gitu, hanya sampai di sana asumsi kita. Itu hanya sampai theoretical aja, sampai conceptual framework, assumption and tentative kalau bisa dijawab. Karena kalau dalam kuantitatif itu setelah konseptual adalah hipotesis. Hipotesis itu adalah tentative answer, jawaban sementara. Karena ini tidak ada hipotesis, berarti hanya sampai mengambang, sampai assumption that the result could be bla 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 bla. It's for me. But again, you check. Again, buku-buku atau data-data conceptual framework seperti apa sih mendesainnya?
Baik, Prof.
Ya, bagi saya ini masih tidak seperti ini bayangan saya, dan memang saya baca pun tidak seperti ini contoh-contoh ya. Tapi again, coba you cek ya, supaya you yakin. Ya. Tidak sampai hasil elucidate, to elaborate, namanya konsep. Ya. Dan bukan turunan dari riset problem. Ini kan. Ya. Jadi kalau you buat title A and then 1, 2, 3 itu turunan riset problem dari title. Itu bukan konsep lah. Konsep kan writer ideas, how to view the phenomena, the issue. Itu keywordnya. Bukan research elaboration dari title, kemudian problem 1, problem 2, problem 3, kemudian finding. Bukan itu. Itu metodologi lah itu. Jadinya similar walaupun tidak 100% sama. Oke? Okay?
Yep.
Itu yang paling penting karena di sini pisaunya. Jadi someone or other one would like to see the same issue but different angle, different perspective will be probably different result. Oke, itu dia.
Yeah.
Itu masih saya lupa itu. Tapi saya pikir kamu lupa ini. Oke, sekarang yang next. So you have 5 poster.
Yes, Prof.
Of the pre-election era, ya kan itu.
Yes, Prof.
Ada bla 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 bla. So when you check, let's say Ganjar Pranowo, how many poster you find in digital room? Itu dulu saya tanya.
Ini kan datanya kan kebetulan Prof, intervalnya itu kan dari 2021
ya,
ke 2022.
Harus pakai juga nggak apa-apa.
Ya.
Ada berapa data? Ada berapa posternya si Ganjar yang di upload? Itu yang saya mau tahu.
Saya cuma nemu yang satu ini, Prof. Satu lagi ada di kolom PSI kalau saya tidak salah.
Ya. Terus saya tanya Muhammad ada berapa dan ada berapa dan ada berapa gitu. Ada ya data itu?
Kalau jumlah pastinya tidak ada, Prof.
Itu kan berarti predetermine aja mengambil data itu kan, mengambil poster itu kan. Siapa tahu Ganjar punya 3, Prabowo punya 5.
No, Prof, karena interval waktunya itu memang belum kampanye.
Iya, I know.
Harinya,
Itu
Prof.
maksud saya.
Ya,
jadi dari kurun waktu sekian hanya ada 1 untuk Ganjar, 2 untuk Muhaimin.
Iya,
artinya ada narasi begitu.
Yes,
ada 4 Anies Baswedan.
Oke, Prof.
Begitu.
Ya, Prof.
Ada 6 untuk si Muhaimin Iskandar. Ada 5 untuk Airlangga Hartarto. Itu kan begitu harusnya dalam kurun waktu 1 tahun atau 2 tahun. Kan gitu. Itu kan timelinenya jelas ya. Longitudinal ya. Ya kan? Dari kurun waktu A sampai Z. Itu ada berapa? Itu harus dulu dijelaskan. Dan kalau ada lebih dari 1, berarti you berpikir yang mana kamu pilih. Itu ada juga konsep how to choose poster 1 or poster B or poster C. Itu yang saya mau tanya. Ada berapa? Belum dapat.
Belum, Prof.
Nah, ya, itu karena saya bilang posternya si Ganjar, misalnya ada 3, kamu pilih yang ini. Nah, itu memilihnya juga harus ada hitungan, ada kriteria.
Iya, Prof.
Ya, who knows that during a year, selama 1 tahun, there are more than 1 poster of each, kan begitu kan?
Iya, Prof.
Ya, oke. Itu kamu harus jelaskan. Next, now we come into data analysis. So you have actually 3 research problem.
Iya, Prof.
Only 3 ya?
Iya, 3.
Nggak ada yang lain kan?
Tidak, Prof.
Interplay itu kan nggak ada datanya kan? Di research problem tidak diformulasikan.
Tidak, Prof. Hanya apa sendiri, Prof.
Ini namanya dalam ilmu publication ghostwriter. Tahu ghostwriter?
Iya, Prof.
Ya. Jadi kalau ada penulis yang ada 4, tiba-tiba muncul 5. Dari mana datangnya? Nah, ini namanya ghostwriter.
Oke, Prof.
Ya. Ini kali ini bukan ghostwriter lah, ghost idea ya, tiba-tiba muncul kan. Ya kan?
Iya, Prof.
Oke, itu harus kamu pikirkan. Sekarang kita lihat how you draw the data, description, finding, and discussion. In multimodal analysis, you only use the 3 resources. Ya?
Iya, Prof.
Visual atau image,
Yes.
spatial, and linguistic.
Linguistic.
No audio.
Yes, Prof.
No apa satu lagi?
Aural, Prof.
No
Gestural.
aural sama audio sama.
Ya, gestural.
No gestural. Kalau behavior itu gestural nggak?
Ini
Karena yang membahas posnya itu.
yes,
Ah.
yes, Prof. Tapi ini saya kan
Nah,
untuk memasukkan gesture ke dalam visual itu, ini berdasarkan teori Van Leeuwen.
iya, berarti masuk dong. Itu
Iya,
yang saya mau katakan.
Prof.
Jadi kalau Pak Prabowo begini, hormat, itu gesture nggak? Smile itu gesture nggak?
Gesture, Prof.
Nah, itu yang penting. Coba dipikirkan. Ya kan?
Iya, Prof.
Smile-nya Pak Muhaimin nggak sama dengan Pak Anies ya? Kan gesture itu kan?
Iya, Prof.
Ini kan non-linguistic to communicate.
Iya, tapi kalau Leeuwen ini memang memasukkan ke unsur visual, Prof, tidak ke gestural. Karena kebetulan saya menggunakan frameworknya mereka, jadi gesture itu masuk ke dalam pose and behavior, tapi gesture dia.
Iya, gesture dia. Dia tetap gesture. Terminologinya kan gesture. Jadi semiotic resources-nya tetap 5. Artinya secara theoretical semiotic resources itu 5. Ya.
Iya.
Ya. Jadi yang dibahas pose and gaya duduk pun itu gesture itu. Gaya berdiri pun gesture semua itu. Tapi dalam satuan bingkai image-nya. Jadi tapi yang dilihat adalah gesture-nya. Tapi kalau warna, nah itu image-nya ya kan?
Iya.
Ya kan?
Iya.
Kalau gerak-gerik poster badan itu pasti gesture itu. Nggak bisa nggak itu kemudian.
Iya, Prof.
Nah, udah jelas itu. Coba kamu pikirkan ulang itu.
Iya,
Ya.
Prof.
Next.
Lagi, Prof.
Sekarang lihat selanjutnya. Now let's continue to another issue. You discuss about 5 candidate. Yeah. And then you try to see the concept of semiotic resources in terms of system in analyzing. You are discussing about information value of your research and information value, no? Nggak ada ya. Yang ada adalah salient, ada ya.
Saliennya aja yang saya ambil, Prof.
Framingnya nggak ada.
Tidak, Prof.
Nah, dalam poster itu kan ada framing. What is include and what is not include. Coba kamu pikirkan, itu yang saya mau pikirkan. Kan what is include and what is value itu, information value adalah bagaimana how information is value. Maka ada salient. Jadi each poster has different salient. Kan gitu kan?
Iya, Prof.
Nah, kalau si Anies apa salientnya?
Ukuran image-nya.
Ah, itulah. Bisa size image-nya, bisa color-nya. Kalau Ganjar apa?
Color.
Salient. Hah?
Color.
Nah, yang
Full of red.
Itu harus dibahas. Namanya multimodal. Jadi di samping you are discussing about resources-nya adalah information menurut si Crash juga ini ada 3 poin. Saya sudah lihat nih tadi. Ya. Ada 3 poin kan. Ada information value, ada salient, dan ada framing. Itu tidak bisa dilepas dari kajian. Makanya si Ganjar warna merah tonjolannya. Begitu lihat warna merah langsung, belum yang lain kan?
Ya,
nah, itulah salient. Oke, ini you try to think ya untuk melengkapi. Oke, sekarang kita lanjutkan. Okay, when you analyze the poster, let's say from linguistic semiotic resources. Kalau you lihat dari linguistic semiotic resources itu, kalau turunan linguistik bisa you kaji dari diksi, kan gitu ya?
Iya, Prof.
Diction itu ada berapa jenis diction? Diction sama connotation nggak sama loh. Kalau you buat jadi satu kesatuan.
Saya kebetulan memang saya kombinasikan, Prof. Misalkan dictionnya ini dengan konotasi yang positif, ada yang negatif, ada yang positif dan negatif.
Nah, makanya diction itu pelajari jenis-jenis diction. Apakah jenis diction humor, apakah jenis diction formal, itu dia.
Iya, Prof.
Bukan konotatif, denotatif dia dictionnya itu. Kalau pelajari terminologi diction dalam sebuah komunikasi, apalagi di scientific writing. Ya.
Iya, Prof.
Sudah bisa menulis ini. Kalau nggak salah ada 10 jenis diksi.
Iya, Prof. Di situ
bukan jadi
positif
diksinya apakah you want to say that the meaning of diction atau jenis diksi by structure, misalnya diksinya sentence, phrase, word. Apa ke sana ataukah type of diction sesuai dengan fungsinya? Let's say formal diction, informal diction, humor diction, persuasive diction. Nah, begitu. Apakah seperti itu?
Iya.
Itu harus dikopkan hanya diksi, nanti baru you elaborate. Kalau you use kata diction and connotation, dua hal yang berbeda. Padahal maksudmu adalah how to develop, how to define diction yang digunakan, kan?
Iya, Prof.
Apakah konotatif dan lain-lain. Jadi that's the point, itu berbeda. Dua hal yang berbeda between diction and connotation. Diction hanyalah pilihan kata, word choice, ya, vocabulary choice, ya, yang mana digunakan oleh si A, B, C, D, kan gitu kan?
Yes, Prof.
Nanti akan kelihatan apakah diction humor, apakah diction formal, apakah informal, ada, apakah diction 10, saya lupa itu. Saya lagi menulis kebutuhan diction in scientific writing. Ya.
Iya, Prof.
Oke, sekarang kita lanjutkan. You are discussing about the linguistic features of the poster.
Iya, Prof.
Di turunan linguistic features itu salah satu diction. Apalagi that you would like to develop kalau linguistic features? Apakah dari stylenya? Nah, beda lagi nih. Kan gitu kan? Itu ketemu nanti. You try to develop. Kalau saya lihat di detailnya, salah satu contoh aja. Nah, betul ini. Ya, dictionnya itu pedantic itu ada, imagery, literary itu ada.
Iya,
Nah,
Prof.
itu ada itu. Itulah jenis diction.
Iya, Prof.
Ya, jangan disambungkan dengan konotasi. Ya. Nah, itu dia betul.
Iya, maksud saya yang mau saya bilang itu misalkan Ganjar Pranowo itu uses pedantic diction.
Iya, itu dictionnya, ya itu hanya itu.
Connotation, nah gitu.
Ya, jadi nggak ada konotasi ya. Ya. Jadi bukan konotasi itu kan?
Ya, nanti saya
Type
pisah.
of diction.
Baik, Prof.
Kalau you mau mengatakan linguistic feature salah satu di drop diction kan gitu kan? Nah, nanti you cek kategori atau jenis diksi. Pedantic. Saya lupa itu, baru saya tulis 2 hari. Apa itu pedantic?
Penggunaan kata yang berlebihan tapi sesuai.
Oke. Ya, overuse. Ya, bagus lah gitu. Apakah Ganjar berlebihan? Misalnya kan gitu kan. Oke. Yang mana berlebihan contohnya? Let's see. Di yang mana kata berlebihan?
He uses quasi synonymous term. Menang combined with spectacular, it signifies great impact. Kemudian di bawahnya itu dituliskan lagi hat trick. Hat trick itu kan sama, great impact because of great endeavor.
Ya nantilah kita oke lah contohnya ya kan. Pokoknya give understanding clear understanding about pedantic diction, terminologinya, sehingga kita katakan itu menggunakan pedantic diction. Nah itu seperti itu. Ya, berarti membahas diction itu pilihan kata sesuai dengan kategori diction. Hanya itu jawabannya. Ya, hanya itu jawabannya nanti.
Iya, Prof.
Bisa juga you say that kombinasi ya between A dan B karena agak susah. There is hard to say clear cut type of diction. Misalnya pedantic versus formal to say, let's say ya. Ya bisa cover both, one word bisa cover both atau 2 atau 3. Itu dia. Jadi diction itu. Oke, sekarang saya mau melihat cara you menyajikannya. When I check your research report chapter 4 sampai chapter 5. Ya, chapter 4 sampai chapter 5, as I say, it's very complicated. Ya. You kan harus merefer ke research problem untuk menyajikan data. Oke lah, you are discussing about that one. Analytical data display. Ya, analytical data display. Itu namanya analytical data. Ya. Research problem number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Selalu 1, 2, 4, 5. Terus point 1, 2, 4, terus sampai. Tapi at last, terakhirnya harus tetap you focus on how the 5 itu menjadi satu kesatuan. Sampai habis you hanya membahas partially. Padahal your research title itu kopnya besar. Ya. Nanti coba you check. Research problem number 1 kan hanya ini. Even you are discussing analytically sub point by sub point, but at last you punya a global of research problem number 1. And when I checked discussion sectionnya ini, still you are discussing one by one. Ya, itu yang pertama. Padahal riset problemmu adalah how, apa judul rumusan masalah yang pertama?
What linguistic, visual.
What linguistics? Tidak kelihatan lagi si A, si B, si C. That's the very hard I believe in, because you menggunakan 5 sampel, ya kan?
Ya.
Ya kan? 5 sampel itu kan?
Iya, Prof.
Jadi tidak kelihatan lagi si A, si B, si C terus. Tidak ada hasil yang menjadikan one single result discussion of your research. Jadi kalau discussion itu sudah tidak kelihatan lagi si Ganjar sendiri, si Muhammad sendiri terus kan? Tidak ada tungku yang terakhir yang besar yang mengcover all in one section of your dissertation. Itu yang pertama. You need to say. And the second, ketika you discuss result of your discussion, result of your data, because you still use one single point and one single problem, yeah. The another weaknesses of your discussion section, you tidak include other data relevant research that you use. You are not including theory, what theory say and what the factual say. Ada nggak kamu buat itu? Cara membahas diskusi. Masih sama aja saya lihat. Ya, coba nih saya lihat nih ya. Ya, itu fungsinya. Coba lihat discussion-nya. Ya, coba lihat dulu satu. Saya sudah baca. Ya. Nah, discussion ya. Coba lihat halaman 253. Linguistic Visual and Spatial Strategy of Ganja. Halaman 253. Saya teruskan. Saya baca terus. Ini diskusi ini menurut muka. Tapi khusus untuk Ganjar aja ini masih.
Iya, Prof.
Untuk Ganjar misalnya. Ya. So poinnya research problem number 1, ya kan?
Iya, Prof.
Oke, sampai halaman 259. Itu sama saja dengan mengulang diskusi di halaman sebelumnya. Why? Because you are not including other relevant research that you use in previous section of your dissertation. And the second, not including the theory that you use in discussing the issue. Ya. Jadi kalau saya lihat datanya, apa yang kamu diskusikan? Ini kan berarti masih paraphrase the result of Ganjar in terms of linguistic, visual, and spatial. Belum ada data orang kedua dan ketiga kan?
Tidak, Prof. Tapi sudah more in depth, Prof. Dibandingkan dengan data analysis di discussion ini sudah more in depth, Prof. Jadi misalkan kalau di analisis data hanya dibilang imaginary redaction, why it is imaginary ada di discussion, kemudian kenapa itu for instance ideologinya itu overconfidence juga dijelaskan, hubungannya antar kata per kata, peletakannya structural and asset pressure.
So the point is, what you are discussing in this section discussion, data harus terdiri dari 3. Itu hukumnya. Makanya discussion itu is a method of dialogue among the 3 data. Your measure, your research results, relevant research that you use, what they say, what others say, what you get, and what you say. By having 3 dimensions of data, using comparing and contrasting model of description of data, you will find novelty, you will find uniqueness, you will find expected. Itu kemungkinannya. Oke?
Ya,
tapi ini belum ada. Ini belum ada. Masih datanya Ganjar aja kan? Masih data penelitianmu aja kan? Untuk apa you menggunakan relevant study yang jumlahnya 20, tapi satu pun kamu tak kutip di sini to compare, to contrast, to highlight apakah dia highly similar, slightly similar, totally different, dan lain-lain. Di sana fungsinya. Oke, sama nih saya sudah baca nih sampai Muhammad Iskandar. Nah, ini pun discussion-nya masih satu-satu. kan discussion harus wrap up. Kalau you 5 menjadi 1. You mungkin use terminologi research problem number 1, discussionnya semua harus masuk menjadi 1. If you still use analytical model, nggak apa-apa. Tapi terakhir tetap harus ada wrap up semua.
Iya, Prof.
Kalau ini namanya hasil riset masih satu-satu, belum menjadi satuan. Padahal judulmu adalah Political Poster of Presidential Election, bukan Muhaimin, bukan Prabowo kan? Tapi you draw masih analytical. You may use that one, but terakhir harus muncul tetap.
Iya, Prof.
Harus muncul. Ya. Itu di sana. Jadi sini kan kalau saya tanya apa keunikannya, kan nggak bisa menjawab. Orang sudah discuss di thesis poster. Apa keunikan penelitian? Nggak akan ketemu. Karena ini belum ada data yang digunakan to compare the previous relevant study. Apa kata teori? Kan belum ada. Jadi kalau dicari novelty-nya apa? Apa something unique? Di thesis poster tahun 2024. Kan nggak bisa dijual.
Karena framework saya agak sedikit berbeda, Prof. Jadi gini, dengan yang relevant study sebelumnya, kalau mereka kan membahas critical discourse analysis itu kan masih microstructure. Mereka masih menghubungkan discourse, cognition dengan social. Sementara kan saya pecah. Saya ambil hanya discourse-nya saja, makronya tidak, saya hanya ambil mikro. Makanya yang saya bahas itu adalah connotators of meaning-nya, bukan lagi elemen besarnya. Nah, jadi kalau kita baca penelitian orang yang memang dipecah langsung connotators of meaning itu, masih ada yang hanya satu saja, semisal hanya membahas at semantic level dan sintaktik, stylistiknya tidak. Ada yang retorikalnya saja dan semantik, sintaktik dan stylistiknya itu tidak. Jadi makanya compare and contrast itu memang belum saya masukkan di bagian.
Yeah, justru that's the point.
Ya,
Kalau
Prof.
si discuss or research element of multimodal in terms of micro, in terms of synthetic, tapi you discuss in terms of blah blah, that's the uniqueness. Itu akan muncul.
Iya, Prof.
Ya kan, that's point, is okay.
Yes,
Tapi you belum memasukkan yang in line with. Nah, itu.
it should be explicit.
Ya haruslah, coba you. Masa ini masih data sendiri aja?
Iya, Prof.
Jadi untuk apa kamu mengutip 25 previous relevant study? Kamu simpan aja untuk menutupi pisang goreng kan? Itu fungsinya di sini.
Iya, Prof.
Itu fungsinya. Bukan hanya ditumpuk di chapter 2 sampai 30 halaman. Iya kan?
Iya, Prof.
Dan apa kata teori? Apa kata teori menurut angle yang digunakan kan? Dari perspektif mikronya kan gitu misalnya kan? Bukan makro kan gitu. Jadi teori yang relevan itulah. Teori yang relevan dan relevant studies itulah pentingnya. Dua itu ketika kita nanti membahas di diskusi. Showing that your research is different in such way. Slightly different, strongly different, highly different, whatever it is. Kan gitu. Semua itu harus bibitnya. Ini nggak sampai. Masih parsial ini. Satu-satu terus. Satu-satu terus. Sampai kesimpulan. Ya. Padahal dalam bayangan saya, apa hasil makronya sebuah set satu penelitian ini? Ya. Kalau you discuss tentang partly atau analytically by means of poster, Ganjar dan sebagainya, akhirnya wrap up-nya apa? Semua. Kan gitu. Nah, terakhir. Karena yang question 3 ini yang saya pertanyakan, mengapa, ya kan? Mengapa membuat poster seperti itu kan, gitu kan? Pertanyaanmu kan?
Iya.
Jadi siapa yang kamu tanyain?
Bukan pengapa si pembuat poster sih, Prof. Kenapa strategi linguistik
Ya,
visual?
oke lah. Siapa? Mengapa strategi itu? Berarti anggaplah Ganjar atau Erlangga kan berarti dia yang buat, walaupun pakai konsultan. Tapi orang ini harus orang nih. Ini harus orang ini. Gimana kamu mendapatkan data yang nomor 2?
Saya Prof, mencocokkan teori. Ada beberapa, misalkan gini dia, Prof. Biasanya kalau teori.
Tapi tadi you say interview.
Iya, interview itu mencocokkan data dari teori yang sudah ada. Misalkan
pertanyaan saya, siapa yang kamu interview?
Ketua partai, Prof.
Ya, partai.
Iya, Prof.
Kira-kira ketua partai yang di Tanjung Balai?
Iya, Prof.
Nah, inilah kadang-kadang kita memaksakan yang terpaksa. Ya, ketua partai PDIP Tanjung Balai, ketua partai Golkar Tanjung Balai, ya kan? Kenapa Bapak posternya Erlangga seperti ini? Kenapa PKB atau Nasdem seperti ini? Gitu kan? Harusnya kan begitu kan? Gitu
Iya.
kamu buat ya?
Iya, Prof.
Tapi pertanyaannya,
ya, no,
pertanyaan apakah dia ikut terlibat dalam merancang desain poster itu?
no, pertanyaannya tidak seperti itu, Prof.
Ya, artinya
gini,
apa?
Prof. Semisal gini,
jadi
saya tunjukkan foto Ganjar kepada
Nah.
ketua partai. Jadi di situ kan ada teori uniknya poster Ganjar ini kan dia tidak memasukkan namanya di dalam slogan hat-trick. Jadi bukan Ganjar Pranowo membuat hat-trick begitu. Nah, jadi saya pastikan di situ kenapa Ganjar tidak dominan di situ dimasukkan namanya ke dalam slogan. Jadi ada jawaban yang menurut saya memang helpful. Jadi kalau kata ketua partai.
Tapi again, itu tetap interpretasi, bukan jawaban hasil data loh. Ya, sesungguhnya yang benar-benar berhak memberikan komen itu adalah pembuat poster. Atau ya Ganjar lah ditanya, atau konsultannya, itu yang paling penting konsultan. Buat kayak gini ya, maksudku begini ya, nama Ganjar nggak usah ada, kan gitu kan? Jadi hasilnya masih namanya interpretatif dari orang kedua. Jadi sumbernya bukan primer, ya kan?
Iya, Prof. Primary-nya dari teori, Prof. Ini hanya secondary.
Kalau kamu juga jawab dengan teori, berarti jawabanmu masih teoritis, bukan empiris. Nah, itu lagi kalau ditanya. Ya kan? Empiris, teoritis itu jawaban. Kalau kamu menjawab dengan teori, itu masih risetmu jawabannya secara teoritis, not empiris. Ya.
Combine, Prof. Combining. And secondary.
Ya.
Yes.
Ya nggak apa-apa, datanya tetap empiris lah, namanya riset plus data empiris. Beda kamu memiliki tentang teoritis review study kan.
Ya, Prof.
Jadi agak dua hal kelemahan ini. Memang itu masalah kamu mencoba mengerjakan sesuatu yang terpaksa untuk urusan masalah nomor 3. Ya. Pertama, sumber informan of research problem number 3 kurang sesuai karena bukan dia yang merancang, kan gitu kan? Tapi yang kedua adalah menggabungkannya, mencoba menjawabnya dengan teoritis. Berarti jawabannya nanti cenderung teoritis, bukan hasil riset, kan empiris lah datanya nanti. Gitu. Ya, kemudian kira-kira. Tapi saya tahu itu hambatan, tapi terpaksa juga kan. Posternya dibuat di Jakarta yang di interview orang Tanjung Balai, ya kan?
Ya, karena saya berpikir gini, Prof. They must have strict command. Dari atas ke bawah sudah pasti satu kata. Ini begini, filosofinya begini, dan ya nggak terlalu
jauh.
Islah.
Iya, ya bagus aja itu apa namanya perspektifnya. Tapi again, namanya tulisan ilmiah itu harus sesuai kan. Nah ini yang saya katakan memaksakan cara untuk riset problem number 3. Ya. Oke, jadi kalau saya tanya terakhir, kalau pertanyaannya reason, bagaimana kamu melisting reason itu? Itu kan reasonnya Ganjar kompleks seperti ini, Anies seperti ini, ya kan? Reasonnya kalau saya tanya bisa nggak you listing reasoningnya itu? Baik.
Maksudnya gimana?
Kalau kita associate,
iya, Prof.
Kalau kita associate, kenapa kamu milih S3 LTBI? Ada 10 reason, kan bisa gitu ya?
Iya, Prof.
A, B, C. Kalau ini bisa nggak? Baik itu secara parsial, poster by poster, kemudian disimpulkan secara general of the 5 poster. Ada nggak listing of name-nya? Namanya alasan. Alasan kan bisa disebut.
Iya, Prof. Misal, contohnya ya, Prof.
Nah, gitu loh.
Ya, misalkan begini, Prof. Poster siapa yang misalkan?
Nah, itu kamu masih ragu, belum dapat. Wajahmu udah ketawa.
Findingnya tadi kan sudah saya apa?
Ya, coba apa contoh?
Contohnya misalkan Muhaimin Iskandar. Itu kan mereka kan mengadaptasi dari stanza lagu Bagimu Negeri. Jadi dia mengambil slogannya itu Padamu Negeri Kami Berbakti. Stanzanya itu kan padahal ada yang pertama Padamu Negeri Kami Berjanji, atau yang ketiga Padamu Negeri Kami Mengabdi. Nah, kenapa dia mengambil yang kedua, tidak yang pertama dan yang ketiga?
Nah, itulah alasannya apa? Kalau listing one word atau phrase, apa alasan?
They want to conceal the Islamic
Oke, stop. Nah, kan gitu harusnya. Nah, gitu loh. Jadi alasannya, kalau you discuss parsial, Muhaimin Iskandar punya 5 alasan. Kan gitu kan? 5 alasan A, B, C, D, E. Si Ganjar punya 4 alasan. Si Prabowo punya 5 alasan. Ya kan? 4, 5, dan 6 misalnya. Ada yang sama, ada yang tidak. Kan gitu kan?
Iya, Prof.
Nah, itu harusnya jelas di wrap up terakhir, di reasoning of the recent problem number 3. Ada 26 alasan dari 5 orang poster itu. Dari 26 itu ada 6 yang sama. Ya kan? Ada 5 yang berbeda. Kan gitu kan? Ada kategori kalau bisa lebih lanjut. Satu membawa amanah secara agama, misalnya alasan agama gitu misalnya kan. Satu alasan nasionalisme. Kan begitu bisa nanti you drawing. Itu alasannya yang jelas. Kalau you may use one by one, but at last you wrap up. Apa alasannya? Namanya alasan kan bisa disebut. As I say, ada 10 alasan masuk LTB Uniman. Kan gitu kan? 1, biaya murah. Kan misalnya begitu kan? Nah, saya tanya 10 orang mahasiswa LTBI, ada 10 alasan. Nah, saya tanya 10 orang, ya, tapi yang menjawab hanya 1 orang menjawab hanya 3 alasan, kan gitu kan? 1 orang menjawab ini, 1 orang menjawab ini. Kan bisa begitu nanti hasil. Jadi alat yang ketiga itu bisa nanti range-kan tense-nya kemana alasan utama sebuah poster di political issue. Ya kan? Alasan agama yang paling tinggi. Nah, kan gitu bisa aja kan? Karena penting itu menarik suara dari umat beragama. Kan begitu mungkin. Gitu loh. Akhirnya ke sana alasan itu. Alasan itu harus punya implikasi. Ya. Jadi untuk suasana Indonesia, bawalah isu agama untuk menjadi calon presiden. Itu. Jadi kalau you buat poster tanpa isu agama tak laku. Kan bisa gitu kan? Udah?
Iya, Prof.
Hah?
Iya,
Kalau
Prof.
you bawa slogan wong cilik nggak laku itu. Jadilah religius, ya kan? Nah, jadi bahasa-bahasa itu. Jadi nanti poster political issue itu begitulah cirinya di Indonesian context. Kalau you bawa program nggak laku, ya kan? Kalau you pakai kopiah mungkin lebih religius. Nah, gitu loh. Siapa ini? Mutia.
Ya, Prof.
Itu alasannya itu. Dan terakhir, sebenarnya apa yang kamu mau dari disertasi ini? Ya. Kamu menyuruh kita memilih salah satu calon presiden.
Tidak, mempertimbangkan, Prof.
Oke, terakhir. Ini saran. Ini terlalu kompleks. Itu yang 5 itu kan masa lalu. Sekarang bagaimana kalau you hanya membahas disertasimu 3 calon presiden yang sudah fix? Ya? Mana cocok? Ini saran nih. Ini kan 5 data itu. Ya.
Iya.
Akhirnya 2 data nggak terpakai. Erlangga Hartarto sama siapa yang nggak pakai?
Cuman 1, Prof. Yang Erlangga aja. Muhaimin kan berpasangan dengan...
Ya, Muhaimin. Ya, Erlangga Hartarto nggak usah pakai kan? Muhaimin jadi wakil ya kan? Oke, mau dibahas. Jadi kalau saya mainkannya gitu. Tapi kalau asli lebih baik yang asli calon presidennya aja. Jangan wakilnya ya kan? Nah, itu saran tambahan ya. Jadi again, alasan untuk membuat political poster itu sangat penting kamu bahas. Di sini belum di. Ya. Dalam konteks Indonesia, isu religiosity, isu ketaatan itu menjadi poin bagi digital posterer producer, ya kan? Jangan bawa program, nggak laku, ya kan? Jangan tampang wajah, nggak laku. Bawalah wajah religiosity. Misalnya begitu loh nanti itu kalau kamu mendapatkan itu. Oke, saya pikir cukup, Prof. Amrin.
Thank you, Prof.
Saya bertanya. Oke, Mutia, ini again numbering-nya ini terakhir.
Yep.
Nggak pernah saya lihat disertasi begini banyaknya daftar isi ini. Ya, ini harus disimplifies ini ya. Lebih baik kamu sesuaikan aja khususnya di bab 4. Bab 4 sesuai babnya hanya deskripsi data, finding and discussion. Ya, deskripsi data hanya ada 3, problem 1, problem 2, problem 3. Ya kan? Di discussion juga problem 1, problem 2, problem 3. Hanya itu. Jangan sampai 1000 anaknya ini. Membaca daftar isinya aja sudah Pak Haji ini. Oke, thank you.
Ya, thank you, Prof.
Ya. Oke, Prof. Amrin.
We are now moving on to Dr. Winda Setiasari. Winda? Yes.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Yeah, very good morning, Bu Rita.
Morning,
It's really
ma'am.
nice to see you
Bentar
again.
ya.
So, good afternoon, yeah. It's a long way to go, and Prof. Wayan has mentioned and suggest quite a lot of things, yeah, to the improvement of your dissertation. But still, I have a question to you, Bu Rita. Yeah, so I'm trying to to discuss some aspect that from why hasn't been mentioned before. Okay, the first one is I was reading your abstract. Okay, and I was just then I read page over page and then found the word aesthetic. Aesthetic. Let me say visual aesthetic. Okay, so do you implement it in your analysis?
Visual aesthetic is
Yes.
refers to the principle of Instagram, ma'am.
The principle of implement. Say it more.
Visual aesthetic refer to the principle of Instagram, where Instagram provide the electorate with high definition visuals with some effect. We can modify some effect on it, so that's why so many electorate nowadays use Instagram or other social networking sites. And some of politicians also prefer this platform because of this benefit.
Okay, so it's part of the visual aspect, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, so this goes straight to your chapter 4, data analysis.
Chapter 4.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold you for anymore, but I didn't see any pictures. I mean, it just it's words, it's illustrations. I mean, I can understand that, but I'm not convinced if you don't put pictures there.
Yes, I just put them.
Bulita, what's your reason? I mean, this is a multimodal. I was just interested in in exploring the linguistic analysis of this poster. Yeah, but when it comes to the visual approaches, and I don't see any pictures. What's your intention of the putting it there?
Just to simplify the number of my pages, ma'am. So I just take them and put in the appendixes, but I will refix later, ma'am.
I think it's quite misleading. I mean, we need proof, right? Ya, jadi saya baca gitu sepanjang chapter 4 dan sampai di bagian visual saya tidak melihat gambar. So do you expect that your reader will just go to the end of the your appendix and still I couldn't find it. This is the heart of the thesis, right? Ada berita? Nggak ada.
Tunggu, ma'am.
Mau terbit di mana?
Appendix A, ma'am. Ada, ma'am.
Ada di mana?
Appendix A halaman 332, ma'am.
332. Okay. So but when one is investigating or conducting a research on multimodal analysis, pictures should be there, right? This is, I mean, I strongly suggest.
Yes,
yeah. I think you skip that. I mean, seperti Anda men-skip bagian yang paling penting di dalam disertasi Anda. Okay, Bu Rita, my suggestion. Okay. Second suggestion, this is basically a question. How many Instagram account you choose?
5, ma'am.
5. Okay, 5. So what are the consideration? I didn't see any likes. This is a persuasive writing, right? This is persuasive politicals, ya. Kita lihat halaman ini menarik, and then I just you know,
Sebenarnya saya cuma
di
simak
halaman
dari skripsinya
yes,
aja.
145.
Oh, dipanggil. Yaudah, nanti saya itu dulu. Senin aja.
Number
nanti
of
saya.
followers.
Kamu kasih itu ya. Template-nya ada dikasih
Okay,
sama mereka.
so 5 Instagram account PDI
Baru kamu,
Perjuangan Jatim, DPP PKB, at Golkar Indonesia, at Gerindra, at Official Nasdem.
Tanggal berapa terakhir?
Okay. Di situ ada numbers of followers.
Tanggal 20.
Instagram, the followers of Instagram basically can be bought. Suara follower dari Instagram itu bisa dibeli, Bu Rita, but not liked or disliked. Yeah, so my suggestion is you need to find data about how many spectators, how many Instagram follower likes the account, because it will influence your decisions upon the pictures, the choosing of pictures. I do believe there will be more pictures to discuss. Iya kan, Bu Rita? Ya. Yeah, do you think so, right? Jadi yang saya inginkan adalah liked. Okay, so just put it away number of follower, but number of liked will work in this case. Okay, that's my second suggestion. Okay. Do you have any comments on that, Bo?
No, ma'am. I think the first time I consider the numbers of followers and then the verified page appear on each account. I think their account have been verified and it is original account.
We were, you know, we are on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Younger generations and followers is not too important, but like is more important. Ya, apalagi ini adalah persuasif in relation to persuasive writing. Ya, so put additional data on the like. Ya, berapa orang yang like kan itu yang penting. Okay. Yeah. My third question is I did mention it in your seminar proposal, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So it's still, you know, lingering in my mind at all. Yes. Multimodal analysis as a theory and multimodal analysis as a methodology. Bu Rita.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I found so many improvement in your theory. Yeah, so I can just connect. Yeah, so different from what Prof. Wayan sees your, you know, hypothesis. I can understand that. But coming into the chapter 3, yeah, so just, okay, so it's a qualitative, descriptive
ma'am.
approach. Yeah. So, my question again, yeah, which is like the same with my question in our last seminar proposal. So why don't you just engage with a multimodal analysis as a methodology? Work part in the same way dengan teori Anda itu jadinya nantinya berita akan nyangkut gitu loh. Lebih nyangkut. Yeah, what's your answer?
Yes, I just employ multimodal analysis at the level of data analysis, ma'am. I have found some literatures doing both. In research design, they use descriptive to describe what, who, and then why or how. But at the level of analysis, specifically, they use multimodal analysis to analyze specific element of each.
Okay. If that's the case, do you separate between data collections, data analysis, the procedure in your chapter 3?
No, ma'am. They are interrelated one another, ma'am.
They're interrelated, yeah. I mean, if you use multi-modal analysis as the data analysis, put it there. Yeah, Bu Rita. Yeah, jadi I'm going to send you a book there, which discuss about multimodal analysis as a theory and multimodalities as the methodology. So it will make your research more robust, yeah, if you find it. But I can understand that you think that you don't need multimodal analysis in your data collection. Okay, then it's fine. Yeah, but give it a separation. You just put it in separately. Okay,
Iya,
itu
ma'am.
dia. Anda masukkan itu berita biar lebih ini ya. Okay. Next question is
Silakan.
just love your paper. Diction and connotation. Yeah. Two different thing ya. Dua hal yang sangat berbeda. Apalagi Ibu sudah punya teori tentang diction ya. Jadi much better you then go on with the connotations in a different page. So saya melihat data dari Ganjar Pranowo ini lebih banyak daripada data yang lain mungkin ya Bu Rita. Dan agak lengkap mungkin ya. Connotation and diction. Ya memang they are interrelated each other, but basically they are different. Ya, jadi saya yang di bagian situ saya sangat setuju dengan Prof. Wayan. Ya, so think about it. Ya, how will you elaborate the data? Okay. Another two questions. Yes, yeah, Ganjar used more than two languages, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Finding, yeah. And interestingly, he used more than two diction. Is it correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
What's your implication?
I think
What's he trying to show? What is he trying to show to the Instagram followers?
Yes, I think he wants to reach mass electorate with different cultural background. For instance, will match Japanese, but also will match millennials using English, and then can reach also common people like us using Indonesian.
Do you put it there in when you answer the research question number 2?
In linguistic analysis, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can you show me? I was trying to find it. Yeah.
Saya hanya
No, you don't have it.
ya, ma'am. Saya
Right.
hanya conceal his ideology, hanya itu, ma'am.
Saya pikir dengan pemakaian beberapa, iya, karena kemudian nanti di Muhaimin Anda juga bicara tentang the use of the language. So elaborate it, yeah. Explain it to the reader why Ganjar used this specific kind of because your research question number 3, yeah, will be comprehensively answered if you do this. Okay, Bu Rita?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. And last question. This is a quite short thing, right? Yeah. Possessed. I don't think you have enough data for possessed. What's possessed, Bu Rita?
The way they pose on the image, ma'am. Like
It's a visual, right?
yes, ma'am. Visual.
Mm.
It might be in very short clothes and short short close or medium short or far short or intimate.
How many data you have for that?
It's different, ma'am. For example, Ganjar has medium short and then Anies intimate. I just based on my perspective seeing the picture.
Saya menangkap di data post dan beberapa visual element, you touch it in a surface. Jadi ibu seperti menyentuh permukaannya saja. Ya, jadi tidak balance antara linguistic and visual. Ya, my suggestion is you need more data for post, okay? Dan untuk beberapa visual ini laginya. So makanya saya bingung gitu, kenapa tidak ada gambar ketika di visuals ya. Tapi kalau ibu punya gitu loh, presidents ya disertasi yang memakai ini, it's fine ya. Tapi selama saya tahu, as long as I know, you need to insert the pictures.
Yes,
yeah. Let alone the appendix. Okay? Yeah. How many posters you have to mention them very clearly in your methodology. Burita.
Yeah, ma'am.
How many posters? Berapa buah posternya sebenarnya, Burita?
5, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is it's a huge question. Yeah, for me as a researcher, perhaps for everybody. Just mention it. Yeah, just mention it. You can't hide it, right? So put it in the methodology. How many posters? Apakah sudah berimbang gitu loh, Bu? Ya? Yeah. Okay. I think that's all. Yeah. That's all, Bu Rita. So good luck for the amendment and the revisions. Okay? I know you can do the alteration. Thank you very much, Prof. Prof, I'm done, bro.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sama-sama, Bu.
Mic, the mic from Amrin.
Well, thank you very much, Bu Winda. Rita, could you please jot down a few questions, a few, suggestions from Ibu Winda Sari then, okay? Some important point that we need to have later in our discussions.
Yes, Prof.
So next to that, we proceed on to Professor Sri Minda Murni. Could you please take your time, Professor?
Thank you.
And yes, okay.
Thank you, Prof. Amrin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah, Bu Rita, I would like firstly to congratulate you. This is such a very comprehensive analysis that you have done. I really appreciate this work of yours. I know how hard you've been working. Yeah, Bu Rita, and also would like to, appreciate your English. To me, this is wonderful. It's also easy to understand, very systematic, so comprehensive, systematic, right? Thank you very much for that. Okay, and congratulations for that, yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now, I just would like to comment on the what do you call that? So after you do this multimodal analysis for each of these candidates. So sorry if my questions similar to the previous ones, because I just finished my presentation, so that's why I could not attend yours. I mean, only the last session of Mem Winda that I can hear. Okay, sorry
ma'am.
for that. Yeah. So, do you think that you need, like, for example, when you analyze Pak Ganjar, Muhaimin, Prabowo, dan Erlangga, right, and Anies, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So linguistically, so I understand that you start working by analyzing person by person, candidates per candidates. Now, do you think it is what do you call that? It will contribute something to the quality or our understanding on each of these candidates if you put like comparing the five in terms of linguistics, the linguistics they use, or the visual element, and those all those components that you have put here, like pose and things like that. Do you think that it will be good if you can compare and then find what, like, what do you call that? Some underlining statement that you can put to each of these to make us like me potential voter, like you also potential voter, just a help from an academician for me to choose which of these should be chosen to be the next president, something like that.
Yeah, ma'am. As
Yeah.
Pak Wayan suggest me in previous
Yeah.
session, I have to compare them. But honestly, I personally don't have a good braveness to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Nah, jadi memang pragmatis masih pembahasannya, belum tidak berani terlalu spesifik. This is better than this because of this, and then their ideology is bla bla bla. Saya hanya compare and contrastnya itu pada bagian surface-nya saja, mem, sesuai dengan elemen. Tapi I'm not really brave, as Pak Wayan said. You have to say that every politician selling religious issue will be more elected by the electorate and etc. Saya nggak berani terlalu yang tajam seperti itu, mem. Mungkin nanti.
It is not the thing that I suggest you to do. Bukan suggest sebetulnya ya. Just you will decide it, okay? You will decide because this is already been a very hardworking things that you have done. Saya pahami itu ya. Ya, saya pahami itu. Saya hanya ingin mendiskusikan saja. Now, bukan compare like this is better than this one. Bukan itu maksud saya. The style, we know that you know kurikulum Merdeka juga, for example, introduce pembelajaran berdiferensiasi in which the difference between each student as individual atau unique apa namanya ya, personality itu kan di enhance begitu ya, and also the sekarang yang terbaru dalam pembelajaran personalized learning. Jadi so each individual should know apa yang sudah dia ketahui tentang satu materi dan apa yang belum, which is different from the other learners misalnya, and then we have to accommodate this, right?
Yes,
kira-kira seperti itu. So I just would like to see then the contribution of your analysis yang sudah sangat komprehensif ini. So one by one, for example, secara linguistik, stylenya Muhaimin itu seperti apa? Bukan comparing. Ya, apakah lebih apa namanya? I don't know. When you talk about style, for example, more to standardized version atau apa sajalah teori yang digunakan, and then Ganjar maybe lebih casual, terserah pada yang mana, semacam itu saja, and then mungkin itu saja yang I suggest you, ya mungkin bisa karena menarik, you know, in this era or katakanlah ya, because the election will be for next year's, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Jadi menarik juga ya to know from academician point of view ini sebetulnya gaya mereka itu seperti apa yang di represented by the posters that they distribute, misalnya seperti itu. Kalau saya sepanjang jalan kemarin ke Papua Barat itu, misalnya Kaesang itu ya Kaesang because it's tidak utility ya. Apa ya? Politik adalah jalan ninja kita, politik santuy, politik santun, and then pose-pose seperti itu. So what does it mean? I don't know. And then ya kira-kira seperti itulah. So analisis multimodal ini mungkin bisa membantu. Jadi in every page you have analyzed each of these figure, Burita,
Fakultas Seni dan
like for
Desain.
example on page mana ya yang mulai analisisnya itu dari halaman berapa? Banyak sekali ya, misalnya saya tulis di sini, saya tulis di sini. Selalu saya menginginkan satu concluding paragraph, kira-kira, dan concluding paragraph inilah yang bisa dibawa. Say for example 160. Coba kita lihat 160. Ini Ganjar ya.
Iya, Ma'am.
Iya. Apa ini? Genre of communication. 160. Iya. Selalu saya mengharapkan you by the end, at the end of your analysis, before you start analyzing linguistic analysis on Muhaimin Iskandar, can you find that?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah, I really need that concluding paragraph from linguistic analysis on Ganjar Pranowo misalnya. Apa ya yang bisa kita, banyak sekali yang sudah utility sebetulnya. This several aspect that you have research, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Iya, coba kita lihat ya. Linguistic analysis of Ganjar Pranowo's digital poster. Itu kan 211 itu kan sudah ada diksi connotation-nya, ada concealment, right? Ya, itu masih linguistik saja loh itu. So what is then? What conclusion? What concluding paragraph can you say? Itu bagus juga seperti itu. So later you can compile, you can copy this one, take it to the last session of your dissertation if it is possible. So kalau tidak, maybe we can start from, so linguistically, one word for Ganjar. What can you say? One word. Overconfidence. Good. One word for Muhaimin, linguistically. Casual. Nah, itu dia. So you know it. You got it. What about Erlangga?
Erlangga, hesitation.
Ya, gitu ya. Bagus sekali. And then Anies,
unpreparedness.
unprepared ya, unprepared.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. But most people say that he is always prepared for any questions you asked. Like when one interviewer asked him about the result of survey on the level of his, what do you call it, level of his popularity misalnya ya kan. So he said that it's okay if the survey says that we are low compared to others. We should thank the surveyor, we could thank the institution, because they without paying anything, and they have spent too much money for that, but we can get the result, so we know what to do, something like that. So to me, he is prepared for any question.
But I see from his slogan.
Yeah. So that kind of thing. Jadi when you are comparing, doesn't mean that you are like the illustration that I just gave you, that we have to appreciate differences, right? Unique personalities, uniqueness of each of these ones. So if you are casual person, for example, you will more comfortable to see the Muhaimin styles. Kira-kira kan seperti itu kan. So do you think it is good if you can do it such a way? Kira-kira bisa juga ya. Ya bisa saja ya. And then bisa dipertimbangkan ya. And then you can also do that for ya apa misalnya ya. For that is one point. Nah, for the whole point that you talk that you analyze for each of that per person kan ada lagi yang apa lagi ya? When you say what is the word that you use? Overconfidence, yeah, for Ganjar, for example. Does it always does it already as a conclusion for the whole aspect of linguistics that you have done? Kira-kira?
Yes, ma'am. I put the interplay of each mode.
Ya, itu dia ya seperti itu. Karena you sudah juga menganalisis ininya ya. Ya, ya interplaynya. Ya. This is such a comprehensive book, Rita. Iya, oke ya. Jadi itu jadi mungkin ya. So maybe you can use a concluding paragraph for each of these interplay of linguistic, visual, and spatial strategy of Humayun Iskandar, and then you conclude one concluding paragraph to conclude all things. Tapi bisa juga you mulai dari ya apa namanya mulai dari when you start analyzing each person dari aspek of linguistic misalnya. Saya selalu membaca dari kemarin itu berharap setiap selesai satu analisis like 147 when linguistic analysis of Ganjar Pranowo, digital postal diction and connotation misalnya ya kan. So what is the concluding paragraph for that? And then concealment, what is your concluding paragraph for that? Misalnya seperti itu. Saya berharap itu ada. Nah, jadi setelah you selesai concluding paragraph for representation of transitivity, kemudian concluding paragraph for grammatical positioning of actions, dan concluding paragraph for genre of communication. Setelah itu ada satu concluding paragraph that you can elaborate. Mungkin itu yang you katakan tadi interplay tadi ya. Interplay tadi itu adalah gabungan dari semuanya ya. Yes, ma'am. Ya, okay. Jadi mungkin one concluding paragraph for each of the aspect seperti diction. Mungkin itu bisa dilihat lagi kalau mungkin dikerjakan. Because people will read that because it is yours. It's apa ya yang namanya genuinely yours to concluding paragraph itu. Because different researcher, even though they got similar data, jangan-jangan perspektif dalam menuliskan concluding paragraphnya juga akan sedikit berbeda tergantung pada perspektif linguistik yang mereka punya, jangan-jangan seperti itu. Okay, so this is number 2. Okay, I heard from your presentation this morning that you mentioned previous researchers and their limitation. Like for example, you mentioned that they just focus on 2 aspects only, but yours add more aspect of analysis, right? You katakan itu pada presentation tadi. So then in what way then in your discussion you mentioned those previous researchers as the starting point for the discussion sehingga kita bisa mendapatkan apa lagi ya namanya hal baru atau perspektif baru atau what is it your discussion that you would like to underline? Karena panjang juga ini lumayan, tapi memang sudah betul itu discussion itu harus panjang. Silakan.
Yeah, ma'am.
Hmm.
I think my research will be supplementary, will provide supplementary information from the previous researchers, but I haven't mentioned it specifically in my discussion, ma'am. I will put it then later as Pak Wayan and Ma'am Winda said yesterday.
Oh, okay, yeah. Thank you, Dan. So because I also try to find previous researches or theories that you quote in your chapter 2, how it is used to apa namanya ya, as a starting point for you to elaborate more your very comprehensive and very apa yang dikatakan ini ya, kecil-kecil begitu, tapi you urusi kira-kira gitu, kira-kira seperti itu. sangat cermat menurut saya. Right, okay. Now for the conclusion, maybe I think you also have got suggestion. Maybe you just need to focus on the research question, right? Like for example, your conclusion number 1. I don't think it is the result of your research question number 1. So it's good if you directly go to your research question number 1. What can you conclude as the answer to your research question number 1, page 304? Jadi jangan lagi dikatakan Instagram has been used by many politicians. Mungkin tidak, bukan itu conclusionnya ya. So what is your research question number 1? The answer to your research question number 1 itu apa? The answer to your research question number 2 itu apa? Cukup itu saja. So that is why you need concluding paragraph for each aspect that you analyze, so it will be easy for you to make your conclusion. Tinggal mau copy paste, mengedit sedemikian rupa, menggabungkan sedemikian rupa. Right, and also this research question specifically for research question number 3, Bu Rita, I don't know whether the reviewers also have talked about this. I don't get this information yet about how you collect your data for this, the rationale, right? The rationale of this one. How do you get data for the reasons why they do the way they do in their posters? How did you get that data?
Yes, ma'am. By combining the theories and the interviewing result, some has been answered by the theory. For instance, when a politician prefers suppression, he wants to conceal the responsibility to the proposition. And then when he uses nominalization, he wants to obscure the actor and the process to avoid being judged by the electorate and etc.
Oh, okay.
Clarify. Yes, I just
so you verify the theory.
I just address some question to the administrator of each supporting political party endorsed that politician.
Oh, okay. So are they okay? You have also interview for this, and those persons, how did you how did you meet them? How did you contact them?
Yes, ma'am. I make an appointment, and they want to spare their time for me. I just ask some question. It takes 2 meetings for each member.
And they are the members of the parliament meeting, the members of the parliament of our city or province. Who are they?
In Tanjung Balai, ma'am.
Oh, in Tanjung Balai.
Chairperson of PDI Perjuangan in Tanjung Balai, and chairperson of PKB in Tanjung Balai. There are 5. Yes, interviews.
Oh, the chairperson, yeah, okay. So you got that from them. and then you also use the theory for
Yes,
yeah.
yes, and they match the theory method.
Okay. So what what is the rationale for Anies Baswedan, for example? What is the answer for that?
Uh, uh, like Anis uses nominalization in his digital poster. Uh, I guess he concealed the micro action because uh, they still haven't decided a specific program to change, for instance. So they just to say perubahan untuk Indonesia, but what kind of change is offered by him doesn't discuss specifically by Anies and his coming this one.
But it is because you just focus on the poster itself. It is impossible to, it is impossible to put everything in the poster. But did you go to other resources like his first speech when he talks about perubahan? Yeah, it is good. So you know what is the starting point and the changes that she's talking about and how to do the changes. You can access that. Hopefully, it is still in the YouTube. The first, I think it is the first speech of him, if I'm not mistaken, in Jakarta when he talks about this one. Very clear the changes, and I don't know whether this additional resources will change something in your dissertation. I don't know, but you have to, you have, yeah, because to me it is impossible to put everything in a poster, right? Like, so if say for example you can match the speech with the poster, like maybe there are some elements in the poster which you find as symbolically representing the things that he talk about in the speech, for example. So maybe you can what do you call it? Uh, you can say that nominalization doesn't always mean like this as the theory says, for example. So maybe you can counter, you know, counteract of those theories. Jangan-jangan seperti itu. Yeah, go to that one. But if you go do that, if you still have time for that, maybe you can also do the same to Pak Ganjar as well. So you add, because this is qualitative research, right? It's just okay if you collect more data, like to get more comprehensive thing about these big figures from the first speech misalnya. If you choose that, jangan jadi teratur, systematic, like kalau Pak Anies you start from his first speech, mungkin untuk yang lain juga untuk the first speech, for example. So maybe you will get different perspective on seeing their posters, karena I don't know, I know some of the what they call the chairperson of the party. Many times I can conclude that some of them just, yeah, it had many things like the very, apa dikatakannya, very substance ya, yang sangat inti dari partainya, kadang-kadang mereka tidak kuasai karena lebih pada orang-orang lapangan kan. Hal-hal yang bersifat substantif itu kan tidak berarti chairperson menguasai, tidak semua juga, karena orang lapangan itu sebetulnya terbatas juga hal-hal yang bersifat kayak conceptual things seperti itu. Jadi maybe you as an academician can find that, mungkin bisa menambah. Yeah. So back to my first question. Yeah. This will be my last question. Yeah. So in what way then potential voters like me will get help from your dissertation, Bu Rita, to choose my candidate? Kira-kira kan menarik itu ya. Yeah. This is my contribution for you apa namanya, voters. Ya, kalau seperti itu ya bisa katakan itu kan jadi keren itu. Ya bisa diundang di ini Metro TV nanti. Bisa diundang saya di TV One. Ya. Are you ready? Kira-kira bisa ini kan ini berita. Like, people are waiting for academician like you, right? To lead them, to guide them. Kira-kira seperti itu. So answer my question. Just between the two of us. In what way then the dissertation helps?
Yeah, maybe yeah, some electorate can see my analysis in terms of how to evaluate the politicians by seeing their linguistic presentation, visual presentation, and how they arrange each element in their poster. Because behind these elements, actually, there are varied ideas for each of politicians.
Okay, so I will go to my next question. So what can you say about Anies Baswedan then? So what will you say? Just imagine me as an interviewer.
Visually, Anis is inclusive man. He put a lot of colors in his digital poster. He may match nationalist, he may match religious party. Linguistically, as I said, seeing from only the slogan, he's still unprepared for specific action, for instance, ma'am. And especially, he repeated perubahan twice in his digital poster. It might be the key point of his political message that he wants to make Indonesia to a better nation from the current government did, for instance.
Right. Okay. So thank you very much for your loyal what do you call it, loyal, hardworking research that you have done. Burita, thank you very much. We are very happy to have a student like you, Ibu, to be honest. Thank you very much. Congratulations for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ya, Prof. Amri, terima kasih, Prof. Dan Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Well, thank you very much, Professor. Rita, some questions necessarily be considered in our discussion later. So please get down. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Prof.
This moment, please. Okay. Well, we're now proceeding on to Dr. Rahmat Hussain. Please take it down.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Amrit. Okay, yeah. Burita, can you listen to me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's actually what I am actually expectation. Yeah, my expectation. I expecting from this recent data analysis presentation. Yeah, I do very would like to thankful very much, particularly to Professor Binda. Yeah, I have the same idea as yours, Binda, that Burita is very, very thankful that we, maybe not only you and me, to expect that our next students will be like her, yeah, very comprehensive and analyzing all the data. Take a look at all her analysis. That is also my actually challenging to her, particularly in chapter 4 in discussion part. I stated to her, Ibu Rita, if we are going to make a report in our dissertation, this is my only word that the discussion part should be 20% out of all substances that should be put in the dissertation. I said it, I emphasize this why because in our previous dissertation I not very actually comprehensively discussed. However, then I also urge her, Ibu Rita, don't forget the discussion should be referred to the theory and also to the relevant studies. That is actually that I emphasize. Um, but in this case, Bu Rita didn't make it. Yeah, didn't make it very specifically. Actually, I have argued, but I say that all right, Bu Rita, because this is still the recent data analysis, because you have done a lot, have worked hard, and then just uh, send it to Ibu Opi for the seminar hasil. I said. Later, I do believe that there will be a suggestion from the examiners for you. And then, yeah, it happens, yeah. Meaning that what I had stated to Bu Rita actually is not my concern, is not my force to her, but that is actually as a student for S3, yeah. What for, as Pak Wayan also stated and Ibu Rita, what for? The references actually the relevant studies, the 25 relevant studies, we just put it, but we don't discuss it whether it is similar or it is different or there is something new finding, yeah, in here and there, and that is actually should be put. The same thing as Prof. Pinda, Prof. Wayan, particularly Prof. Pinda also and Prof. Pinda, curiosity. That is actually the first thing first that I also challenge Ibu Rita. Ibu Rita, is it possible that you interview the politicians, the candidates, Pak Anies, Pak Hartanto, Pak Muhaimin, and so on, I said. Because this also happened to my previous student, and as so I said that, please interview the late Ibu Ani Yudhoyono when that time Ibu Ani Yudhoyono is still alive. When why? Because she used bilingual in her Instagram or what? Yeah, that time. And then I heard my supervisor. It is possible, Pak. Why I said that? Because sometimes Ibu Ani actually replied, or if not, and then her staff will respond to that one. But unluckily, I said that, okay, if you can do that, that is very good because it is related to the people, yeah, while the people is still alive. And then I said that after 1 month, I was waiting that time, no answer, and then she said, "Pa, actually no response to my question in the Instagram." I said that, all right, because this is not a very crucial, actually this is very important. And then I said that, all right, then yeah, I don't want to keep you until it is answered. So do analyze this on the basis of the theory. Yeah. But Bu Rita that time just tell me, Pak, I think the chairperson in Tanjung Balai for each party can answer. How about this, Pak? I said that actually it could be different. And then Bu Rita convinced me, Pak, I think because this is party, all the ideology, everything about the colors, everything related to the multimodal, yeah, related to the semiotic, I think that they actually understand it should be actually separate into all the members in the party. All right, you can say that, go on. If not, and then I asked her, please try to contact to catch the person that you actually try to analyze. Yeah, that is actually very good. And then there are so many things, yeah, ask and argue and considering from particularly from Wayan. I think Bu Rita to make it actually very specific, make it actually in your scope of the study on page 12, yeah. State it actually directly what actually that you are going to do related to this. If not, Yeah, because there are so many things that you need to cover. Yeah, so specify it. Although most of the examiners' questions and clarification need to be answered by you, and then you can actually have argument for that one. Although, yeah, both of you are correct for me, but still, yeah, for it, my emphasis, please state it. What is actually the scope, yeah, in on page 12, so that related to research question 1, what you are going to actually cover related to the question number 2 and number 3. Yeah, and also that is actually correct what you showed. I said that please state and describe in your chapter 3 what you have done related to collecting the data. Yeah, related to this. Okay, and then uh, the last but not least, yeah, my suggestion also that you need to really organize the discussion by actually counterpart to the theory and then to the relevant studies, particularly that you need to show the readers this is the finding. And then also I would like to, I challenge you also, how if you make it into one table only, for example, what actually the components you found. For example, if there are some similarities, and then you just say that all, for example, the 5 candidates actually have the similarities for aspect A, B, C, D, E, maybe until 10, but for 12, only Anis, maybe, and then for 13, only Hartanto, 13, only Prabowo, for example. So the differences are also included. So it can be seen clearly in one table. So the wrap up of those tables. I do actually appreciate you also because you have make a bit changing, yeah, related to the table that we are discussing. Yeah, we have discussed related to in chapter 4 related to the discussion. Yeah, Burita, you have put here and there. Okay, so hopefully that you will make a bit, yeah, a modification in relation to also to respond to the suggestion by the 3 examiners. Again and again, I do hope you make it very soon. Yeah. Okay, that's all from my comment to Lisa, from Amrit. Thank you very much, Lisa.
Well, you're welcome, Dr. Rahmat Hussein. Well, could you please set the scope or mark that you have given to internet for counting by copy? Well, in the meanwhile, I just want to tell you that the meeting is suspended for about 5 minutes. Then before coming to the final decision, 5 minute rest.
Udah siap ya, Mas? Sam Hasnya? Kok berhenti? Udah 2 jam juga nih. Udahlah. Keluarlah saya.